Hello everyone. This video will show you how to create your own custom self-grading quizzes in Illuminate. I like to go to Illuminate through Clever. That way I know I'm already signed in as a DeKalb County employee and I won't have any troubles getting in, but however you choose to get there is fine. So we're going to open Illuminate, and it didn't give me my sign-in screen because I've already been in here a bunch today. But just remember, you don't enter your username and password. You click the button down at the bottom that says SAML, S-A-M-L, and that's how you get in. But we're already in here, so I'm going to click on Assessment, and I'm going to create an assessment. Now, there's two steps to creating a custom quiz in Illuminate. The first step is you have to add your items to the item bank. And that may seem like an extra step, but the nice thing about adding your own custom items to the item bank is that you can use them on other quizzes later. So maybe you've just gone over a lesson in your virtual learning session, and you want to give them a quick quiz to see where they are in their understanding, like a formative assessment. And then later on at the end of the unit, you're going to give a summative assessment, and you'd like to use that same question. It's already in the item bank, so you can use it on multiple quizzes. Not only that, but your teammates can use it on their quizzes as well, so that you don't have to do double work. So we're going to choose item bank. Later on when I create my quiz, I'm going to choose this, but right now I'm just creating the item. So I want to choose item. We'll choose next. And there are many different question types you can create in Illuminate. There's multiple choice, which is probably the one that the students are most familiar with. There's the non-traditional, true, false, yes, no, complete or incomplete. There's where it highlights selectable text. There's the drop-down list where you can choose your choice from a drop-down list. There's constructed response. Now, obviously, that can't be self-grading. You have to go in and read their constructed response if you choose that one. An explicit constructed response, which is very specific, and then the drawing response where the kids can draw their answer, but you have to go in and grade that as well. And then there's your math equation response where they have a mathematical equation that they fill in parts of. So we're going to go with the usual one, the multiple choice. And I may get a chance to show you a couple of others, but you can come in and explore these. But the multiple choice is the one you're probably going to use the most often. I can add some teacher instructions. I'm going to say choose the best response. And I can insert a picture here. I can insert video. I can do superscript and subscript for text. I can do mathematical equations. I can make it bold, italic, pretty much all the things that you can do in a text box you can do here. But these are just basic teacher instructions, so I don't need them. But if you want to jazz up your quizzes and make them a little more graphically friendly, you can do that. So this is the question stem. Basically, it's the leading part of the question, and then your answers may finish it or not. I'm going to say, what is 2 times 3? And because this is their first introduction to multiplication, I want to include a little picture. So I've created a picture, and I'm going to choose my file, and I'm going to go to my pictures folder, and I have a little multiplying dog picture that I've pre-downloaded to add in this question. I'm going to give it a title of 2 times 3 equals question mark. I hit upload, and my picture is in there. You can't see the whole thing right now, but you will when I move on. Okay, so once I've got my question stem created, I need to save and continue. And there we have it. What is 2 times 3? I might make that bold so it's a little clearer, but not right now. And here's my little picture. And now I have to come down and put in my answer choices. So I'm going to say 2. You could just put the numbers, but I'm going to go ahead and put the problem again because they're new to this skills. I'm going to say 2 times 3 equals, I'm going to put 5 in case they add it by accident. And then I'm going to say 2 times 3 equals, and I'm going to put the right answer. And I might say 2 times 3 equals 7. And I might say 2 times 3 equals 23. And let's say I decide I don't want 4 responses. That's too many. I can delete one. So I think I'm going to get rid of this 2 times 3 equals 7. I don't like that choice. So I'm going to click on this remove choice. And it's going to confirm that I do want to remove it. I'll say, yes, I want to remove it. And now you see I only have 3 choices. And you know, I think I want this one up so I can use these arrows to change the order of my choices. So I'm going to move that one up. You see now my correct one is the bottom. And I have to tell it that this is the correct choice. So I'm going to click on the check mark here, and you notice it turns green. it actually won't let you move on without, well, it'll let you move on, but later on when you try to publish, it's going to tell you you didn't choose a correct response. So you have to choose the correct response. I'm going to hit save. So I'm just going to move on to the next tab up here. There's a lot of stuff on this tab. I don't fool with any of it. Feel free to come in and look at it if you want. I go straight to standards. And I have to choose what standard this is. And that's one of the great things about creating a quiz in Illuminate is that you do get to assign a standard to it, so that especially for RTI or for any reason you need to determine where students stand in their mastery of particular standards, it's great to be able to do this. So I'm going to go to the very bottom and choose the standards of excellence, and I need to say that this is math. And I'm going to choose third grade. You also get the choice for mathematical practice standards, but for the most part you're going to choose just straight up grade 3. And here it gives me my standards. I know that multiplication is under operations and algebraic thinking, so I'm going to expand that standard. And here it is now, multiply and divide within 100, to choose that standard. And now I'm good to go. And you can see it's selected up here. A passage, I can add a reading passage if this were a reading standard if I wanted to, but I don't need to do that because this is not a reading standard. I almost always go to view. This gives you a chance to kind of look at it and make sure, here's my teacher instructions, choose the best response, what is 2 times 3, and then I've got my correct choice here. I might double check and make sure I don't have any typos, and that I do indeed have the correct response selected, and now I just go to publish. And at this point I just hit publish, and I'm good to go. I can go ahead and add this to a test. If I already have a test created, I can go ahead and add it at this time, but I have not created my test. I can go back and create another item bank item. I just click here for create if I want to go create like 10 different items before I create my quiz. I'm going to have just this one. I can preview it too if you want to take a look at what it's going to look like. Oh, that's what it's going to look like to the kiddos. Awesome. All right, now I'm ready to go back and create my quiz. I'm going to hit return to Illuminate. And now I have to add my items that I've created to an actual assessment. So again, I'm going to choose assessments. I'm going to choose create assessment. I'm going to choose item bank again. This time I want to choose assessment standard mode because I am actually creating the quiz now. I choose next. I have to give it a title. I recommend you put certain descriptive words in your titles to help make them easier to find. So I'm going to put Balan. I might put third, math, multiplication, facts. You can even stick Oak Cliff in there if you're going to be sharing outside of the school. An assessment description. This is a basic multiplication fact quiz. Select my academic year, 2021. Select my grade level. This is grade 3. Select my subject, math, and I'm done. I just click create. Choose standards, so I can put multiple standards in a quiz, and that's what the item bank is then going to show me. Now, because I've already made my items, the standard that I chose for those items is here in my most recent list. But let's say it wasn't, or for whatever reason I need to select the standards. It's the same as we did when we created our items. You would go here and you would choose the standards of excellence, you would choose your subject of mathematics, you would choose your grade level, and then you could drill down to the specific standard. It's here in my most recently used list, so I'm just going to click it there. I don't have to do all of that other. And now I'm ready to add my items. So I click on the Add Item tab here. And again, it's got all of the specifics here that I can change. But the main thing is if I've created my own items, all I have to do is search for my items. So I'm just going to put in my last name, Balan, and I'm going to choose me when I pop up in the list, and I'm going to update filters. And now it's going to show all the questions that I have made for this standard. And if I just want to see all the questions I've made, period, I can get rid of that. I can unselect my standard. This is indeed the standard I want. Here is my question. I'm going to add it to my quiz. Now, if I had more questions here to choose from, which I can do that, I can go ahead and unselect this and update the filters. And you see it's reloading my search results. And here I can see all the other questions I've created. Let's go ahead and add another question. You want to be sure when you're adding questions to this quiz, though, that you make sure that any item bank item you choose has this little computer symbol. Because we're doing virtual learning right now, that means that we're not going to be generating pencil and paper tests, which is what this symbol means. But make sure all of your questions right now have this symbol. And you'll see this standard is red because I have not added this standard. Any standards I've already added will be black, and that lets me know if it's a new standard I'm going to be choosing. So I can just continue to add items, and it's going to show me how many items. It's going to show me the standards, the number of standards that I'm testing. It's going to show me if there are any passages. It's going to list the different standards here and how many questions are using that standard. It's going to list the question type. So if you want to make a more rigorous quiz, you would make sure they're not all just multiple choice. You would have some, extended response and whatnot here. But if we're just doing like a quick formative assessment of knowledge, multiple choice might be the way to go. Anyway, these are the things you can tinker with here. I've added all the items I want to add. I can review my item selection. This gives me the option to remove questions if I decide I don't want to use them. I can shuffle the order of the questions if I want to do that. But I like to just come and take a quick look and see what the test is going to look like. Prepare test booklets you can skip because we're not doing paper and pencil test right now. So we're just going to go straight to publish. And at this point, I can, if I am going to go ahead and include my quiz in a classroom assignment, I can hit publish and administer. If I'm not ready to use my quiz yet, I can just hit publish. I'm going to show you how to add this quiz to a classroom assignment, and so I'm going to choose publish and administer. And that takes me to the screen you're probably very familiar with. I'm going to choose test with quick code. Now, for virtual learning, I like to expand this window a little bit. You see right now the test date window is from August 12th to August 19th. I need a bigger window than that. So I'm going to choose edit. And here I can change. I'm going to go ahead and start it on the 12th, but I'm going to change the date to, I may even let this sit up there for a year. And I have to make sure I hit enter, and you can change the time if you feel the need. And then you need to make sure you hit save. And now you see I have my expanded test window. I'm ready to go ahead and use this quiz. So I come over here to the access code. If I click on the access code, it gives me this link that I can share. I'm going to click in here. I'm going to highlight everything and I'm going to choose copy. Right click and choose copy, or Control C on the keyboard if you use keyboard shortcuts. I'm going to close this, and now this link can go anywhere. So if I have a Teams call going, I can go ahead and I can switch over to my Teams call. Let's say I was just talking with all of my students and I want to do a quick formative assessment of what they got from my conversation here with them. I can go into the chat for my Teams call. And I can say, now take this quiz, and I can right click and choose paste or Control V to put my quiz link in and hit enter. And now the kids can click on this link in chat and go straight to the quiz. This is really handy. But let's say you're not going to do it right there in a Teams call and you want to go into your Google Classroom. You go open your Google Classroom. I can say here in announcements, take this quiz today. I could paste the link here and post it, or I can add it specifically to an assignment, which is probably the better way to go. I'm going to click on classwork. I'm going to create a new assignment, quiz for multiplication. I can put in my instructions, and then I can just add a link. I'm going to right click and paste my link, add link, and now they can, when they come into the students, and I have to of course assign it. You know how to do that. That's a separate video. And so once you get this link from Illuminate, you can put it pretty much anywhere. You can even send it out as a remind code. So there you have it. Thanks for watching.